Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 17 of the Emoti-kaun series. My scenario has changed. I'm in a very quaint town, very close to Kanyakumari. It's a it's a place which is struggling to find its identity between a village and a town. So you'll hear a lot of noises in the background, including my family members. So it'll be fun today. Uh, and Sowmiya is here, and fortunately, her throat is back into action. So I'm going to let her speak a lot today.
Yes, my voice is back. My voice is back. I'm
Her voice is
grateful
back,
for
but
that.
there's also she's also completed a 2-day hypnotherapy course, level 1 course, which is an amazing course if you really want to try it. Mostly for self awareness, which is what we're going to talk about today. Okay. So
Great.
before we start off, somebody want to recap something that we've spoken about in the past?
We've spoken about so many things now. I'm like wondering what do I recap about? But just picking off from where we left, a few things that we spoke about in the past couple of weeks, mostly about how anger turned inwards, anger directed towards another person, how to deal with that. And one of the questions that we discussed largely was once you get to know about it, or you're aware of how you're feeling, or how do you generate that kind of awareness, and once it's there, what do you do about it? I think that was one of the topics that you shared extensively your thoughts on.
Yes.
So just going on that tune, I guess now we are following up with self-awareness and more about it.
Yes, definitely. So, of course, there are a lot of times when we talk about self-criticism, we as people, we as when we are born, we are there are a lot of theories that say that we are born as a clean slate. A child is extremely innocent, has the most amazing thoughts about themselves, has the most amazing thoughts about others, especially their parents, and thinks that the world is a magical place, right? And now I have a 3-month-old nephew who's called Agastya. And when you look at him, he looks at the world as a wonder. It's a miracle, it's magical. And so does Soumya's son, Rudransh, who is 2.5. For him, the world is pure, the world is amazing, the world is filled with interesting things to explore. Now, just imagine a 3-month-old baby and a 3-year-old baby, or 2.5-year-old baby child is so pure. So when do we get screwed up? Which is a very good question, right? So if we are born pure and to a great extent we remain innocent and pure, what causes this entire concept of self-criticism? Which brings us to a very interesting concept of parenting. Okay, actually, we can go way back into parenting. Soumya is the boss here, with live examples about what she faces as a parent. Every day is an experiment for her as well. Every day is a learning for her as well, along with her son. But I think this journey of one of those noises that you will hear in my background. They say that the learning starts in the womb. This concept, which is very widely known as Garbha Sanskar in India, in our scriptures. It was very beautifully depicted in the Mahabharata when Arjun's son is in the womb, Abhimanyu is in the womb, and he's listening to Arjun speak about the Chakravyu, the different formations in the war and stuff like that. And apparently, his mother, Abhimanyu's mother, that's Subhadra, she nods off, she dozes off, right? So when she dozes off, the interface, intake of that information is shut. So he hears the portion where he knows how to enter the chakravyu. When the mother dozes off, he doesn't understand how to get out of that chakra. Okay? So apparently or obviously, this entire concept of the child learning, starting to learn or starting to feel happens right in the womb. Okay. So let's talk about some part of that in Sowmiya, please share your experiences with pregnancy and stuff like that so we can take it forward.
Well, though I knew about it, that yes, the child is absorbing whatever the mother is experiencing. Uh, Personal experience wise, if I say so, then I don't think I have the best of experiences to share in terms of what I've exposed myself to. Because I was on a diet of crime serials and murder mysteries. So I didn't fall off
Oh,
to sleep
so okay,
any of them.
we don't intend to say that you exposed your child to crime and Bahubali and all those action movies that you
Oh,
watched.
yes. Oh,
But no,
yes.
the entire series of the crime series that she watched probably created more curiosity than anything. You meet this child wants to open up everything and check what is there. So a lesson well learned that way.
So, but apart from that, what is also interesting is it's not just what the mother is feeling or experiencing, it's also what is happening in her environment that the child picks on. So, when they say, not just the mother to talk to the child, but the father also, or someone else also. You must have seen those people who go and talk to the bellies. So something is happening, and the child is picking up on those sounds, on the feelings, on the environment, and it the child may not be able to make sense of what is there, but it all gets stored in. If the child experiences something traumatic or the mother is experiencing something traumatic, the child may not understand it. But the feeling is there because the mother feels the feeling and that gets passed on to the baby. Similarly, when something happy, joyous she experiences, you may find, the child is born or the child experiences just happiness, pure joy. And you can see that reflected whenever you interact with the child. That also happens. Although interestingly, sometimes when it's the worst of situations or the best of situations, then the child may come out opposite of that also. Lot of explanation of why that happens is also that because the child has his own story as well. It's not the story of the mother or the family that it's born into, it's playing out. A lot of things are there, interwoven. All you can say is just once the baby is there, what can you do and how do you be a part of their journey towards self-awareness? So, Hema, what do you suggest? What
Yes,
do you
definitely.
have to
I
say?
think your generation, our generation, and the generation after this, I think they're very aware parents, right? Uh, I have seen parents who come for therapy because they want to be better people around their child. No, they want to be better parents and they are willing to work on themselves so that they don't repeat the mistakes that were made with them. So there are a lot of psychological theories that say that while the child is it's like a क्या बोलते हैं कच्ची मिट्टी राइट जिसको हम मोल्ड कर सकते हैं अपने हिसाब से ढाल सकते हैं एक बच्चे को apparently that gets sealed by 5 years of age. Okay, so there are a lot of theories which say that 5 years stuck the child is moldable, and after or beyond 5 years the child now has absorbed everything like a sponge and now will start acting based on whatever it has absorbed apart from newer experiences that happens. So this concept of self criticism when we become tough on ourselves, a lot of times in therapy we will find that these statements that we tell ourselves are not even ours to begin with. That is sometimes the voice of other people ringing in our heads, in our ears, especially our parents. Okay. Now, of course, I don't mean to say that, oh, our parents screw us up or something like that. ऐसा नहीं है. But they act according to how much they are aware of. Right. And whether it turns out to be beneficial or not beneficial is only time will tell. Like how much the child has absorbed, we wouldn't know. For example, we'll talk about discipline, right? There are a lot of families which work as there's a clockwork system. Let's say both the parents are working. The father has to go to work, the mother has to go to work, and so both of them are very very particular about getting the child ready for daycare or getting the child ready for school, so that everything happens on a particular schedule, so everything goes smoothly. God forbid that schedule is screwed up in any way. That is when the drama begins. Like how the parents react when things don't go according to how we plan them. We spoke about this. Anger comes out of disappointment, what is expected, and what actually happens. The gap between reality and expectation causes disappointment, and that disappointment causes anger or it causes frustration. So, out of that frustration, when they start acting, there are belief systems. So, for example, a mother might, in frustration, say that you make me late. Because of you, I get late every day. So now there is a particular belief that is formed that if my mother is hurt, I play a very important role in her being hurt or her being upset or her being unhappy in some way. Now, for the child, it's a very simple logic, right? I can't see my mother unhappy. I have to make her happy. One more very interesting concept that Sowmiya's son does. Whenever she gets upset with him and she makes this stern face, he'll come from there and he'll say, Mummy, smile. Because it's difficult for a child to see their mother upset with them, right? So just imagine when a mother is telling the child that because of you, I'm facing a problem. She may say this out of frustration. She may say this out of helplessness. She may say this because she has nobody else to say that to, right? The child, unfortunately, becomes the most easiest target in the family because you can't talk to adults. Adults have a way of getting back at you. They will give you a response. It will become an argument or it will become a fight, but a child can't. So then it's very easy. We spoke about kicking the dog in one of those sessions, and it's just easy to say anything to the child. But unfortunately, a lot of belief about themselves that my mother will not like me, or I am not a good boy, or I'm not a good girl if I am late, or if I make other people late. Yeah. And over a period of time when they grow up, you will find that I am definitely not late, but I cannot tolerate other people being late. So there is a lot of frustration around, oh, you make me wait so much. What is this? Tumko, you don't have respect for anybody else's time and blah and whatnot, So I have this a friend of mine who does that. She gets very annoyed if people are late. Oh, you said 10 o'clock. You called at 10:15. What is this? I was here on time. You were not here. Even for a party, right? Even for or like a normal dinner outing or something like that. So how much of that belief right from the childhood gets carried on to their adult life is a very very subjective concept. Yeah, this is one of the things, discipline, that we're talking about. There are belief systems about the way we look. There are belief systems about the way we handle money. It's a very very interesting thing that happened. So I was talking to one young girl, and we were talking about lottery tickets for some reason, right? And I said, buy this lottery ticket and pray to God, maybe you will hit the lottery. And that girl immediately said, ऐसा थोड़ी मिलता है पैसा, सिर्फ मेहनत करने से पैसा मिलता है, सिर्फ काम करने से पैसा मिलता है. So whose belief system is that? We don't know. So there are a lot of these belief systems that are ringing in our heads. Unfortunately, I think Sowmiya will agree to this. People think that therapists like us are immune from these things, these feelings. Other people cannot affect us. To a great extent, that is true because we work on ourselves. We are more aware. We know why we are getting upset, but that does not mean we will never get upset. Okay. So a person, this is one of my favorite things from the Bhagavad Gita. a term which is called Sthita Pragya. So Krishna says, no, don't get too attached, no. Just fight, just do your duty. Karmanyevadikara say, he said, just do your duty, just fight, you are supposed to fight because you're a warrior. Okay. And then he says, don't get attached to the results of it. So he says, how is that possible? How is it possible to not get attached to it? No. So he gives an example of a water droplet on a lotus leaf. It's there on the leaf, touching it, but it is still not attached to it. It will just roll off as it rolls. No? So he calls this state as Sthita Pragya, a person who is not attached. He's not angry. He's not upset. He's not celebrating anything too much. He's not getting upset about anything too much. So there is no extreme emotion. He looks at everything equally, which is what a lot of people try to achieve. But that, please understand that that requires a lot of self work. Looking at the mirror is probably the most difficult thing for us to do. To accept that I get jealous and I get angry and I get upset and I'm judgmental. And just half an hour ago in my head, I was bubbling with anger, saying that, oh my God, I just want to, I don't know what I want to do with this person that I was walking with. So it happens a great deal. But it's important for us to understand that other people may impact us. How long does that impact last? That depends on us. What is the difference between a 5-year-old child and a 40-year-old adult? It's awareness and it's a choice, right? A 5-year-old may not understand what choice they have or whether they really have a choice, but a 40-year-old has the choice. We can build that awareness. So if we ask, can people stop affecting us? The answer is no. We live in a social circle and we will continue to get affected by people, and we will also continue to affect people. Whether or not we talk, sometimes we affect people even by our silence. Yeah? So we will, that cause and effect will continue to happen. But how much we want to make it a belief system is a big question. One concept, I think Sowmiya is the best person to answer this because I still am working on that particular issue. Is the matter of wanting to be liked by everybody. Yeah, everybody should like me. I should be liked by everybody. People should, be pleasant with me, and I should be like, I should be on good terms with everybody, or I should not hurt people. Okay. So, Sowmiya, your take on that, please. Whether that's really possible in the first place.
Like you had just mentioned about how the child, tries to please the mother all the time. Otherwise, whatever the responses of the parent, that's what the child believes about themselves. So when you say that, okay, everyone should like me and I should try to please everybody, what is it that you're trying to do? You are thinking that except love is conditional. Only when you are a certain way, then only you will be loved and accepted by whoever it is. So for that, let me keep everyone happy. If everyone is happy with me, then I will definitely be loved. I'll definitely get acknowledged, and I'll definitely get what is required. So a lot of people, you must have heard the term people pleaser. There are people who are always agreeable, who get along with everybody, who are probably yes men/women, and they try their best. But are they really authentically themselves? We don't know. We don't know. They are trying to be that person who is loved by everybody. But what is the need to be loved by everybody, to be liked by everybody? So if you ask me whether it's possible, yes, it's possible to be a people pleaser. But will it make you really happy? Or are you losing part of yourself by doing that? The answer to that is also yes. That also does happen.
Also, another question
So
there is it worth it? And what is it
that
worth?
only Exactly. That only the person can answer.
Yeah.
Because when you're trying so hard to please everybody else, the question is, do you do anything to keep yourself happy? Are you happier? Or do
What is
you
the
lose out on it?
price we pay for people to like us? What is the
Yes.
price you will pay so that everybody likes you? And what will you
Yeah.
lose in that bargain?
Only yourself.
I think when you lose yourself,
Yourself.
you lose everything, right? So that's
Yeah,
like at the underlying.
yeah, but the beauty of it is like, you're talking about awareness. How aware are you of what is happening to you?
Yes.
If you're totally unaware and you're living in that bubble and you think that that is happiness, even though something is pricking you in the back of your mind, you don't exactly know what it is, but you don't want that bubble to burst. So
Yes.
there's nothing much that can be done about a person. Okay, allow them to live in that bubble.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with one of my students today, and he was sharing about how, he would just pose, he's a psychologist, he's like in a group discussion or something, he would pose a question to the other members to make them think, make them feel, and in fact, look into their relationships to ask the question, is it really working fine? And if it's not working fine, what do you want to do about it? Which is great. Okay. But what if they are living in the bubble saying that, everything is fine by me and they don't want to look at it? They're not ready to look at it. So you're poking the bear, you're asking them to look at something. And if they're not ready to deal with it, it will only just backfire on whatever they have created as well. So not everybody is ready to look at themselves or look at the mirror, like how you had said it. Because awareness also somehow is, like you mentioned, the awareness of a young child and an adult is very different.
Yes.
So even though you're an adult, you may not be at that capacity to actually help yourself without any assistance. You may
Correct.
need assistance.
Correct.
So
This example
that's,
that you gave reminds me of Dhritarashtra. Again, hard selling B.R. Chopra's Mahabharat. Please watch it on YouTube. It's there for free. So there are so many times when Bhishma goes and tells, or Vidur goes and tells Dhritarashtra, tries to show him the mirror. It's okay, let it go. You have this, or like there's so many things that they advise. But the gentleman is just way too wrapped up in his own head, and it's just too painful for him to accept that, oh my god, something's going to be taken away from me. So there are
yeah,
people who, yeah, can't take it. You just can't take it.
just like horses have those blinders, to help them see only so much. So sometimes we have these rules, regulations, belief systems which are there around us, societal, which is only allowing you to see so much. And then you believe that's what your world is.
Yeah.
Like, example, if you grow up in an abusive family situation, you think that is normal. You
Yeah.
expect every other thing, every other relationship to be that way. Till somebody comes and says, hello, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
And are you still willing to see? Are you still willing to remove those blinders?
It is
So
painful. It is painful. Awareness is definitely not a great, it's not a bed of roses for sure.
So, which begs the question because of this gentleman, how what he shared that, do do we as therapists, does it become our responsibility to show the mirror, be the Vidurs and show the mirror to everybody, and they're not ready to look at it? What do you do? Is it a
I don't think
social
it's a
moral obligation?
responsibility to show the mirror only to people who come to us willingly. I think readiness is a big thing, right? It's a very big thing. We cannot force anybody into change, anyways. So, having said that, one of the reasons, also the reasons why we're doing all of this is to understand that beyond this painful portion of facing yourself is a wonderful world of possibilities, is an infinite potential uh, that we can explore. So, again, are you willing to chase magic? Are you willing to be that child again who looks at that world as magical, who looks at the world as a safe place, who looks at people as good in your space? I know it may sound very cliched, but yeah, that's what it is. So when we talk about people and how their energies affect us, what we've been one of the techniques that we've been taught to do, not only in my spiritual practice, but also as a part of hypnotherapy, is to review our day. I think we spoke about this the last time when we spoke about introspection or journaling, right? We also spoke about looking at the day, reviewing it, and we've done a little bit of hypnodrama earlier. No, Soumya, we've done a little bit of hypnodrama,
Yeah, we did that.
partly. So we will probably pick up in the next session, we'll pick up a very specific self-critical belief that we may have obtained from somebody else. Okay. And we will try and do some healing around it, some inner child healing, and try to lessen the intensity of that voice in our head. Yeah, we'll try and do that the next time. um, so as of now, I think this is where we stand with regards to understanding that we are not immune people, we cannot live in a bubble. At the same time, it becomes, as grown-ups, it becomes our responsibility to become more aware so we can become better people and we can live a better life. Yeah. And not to mention that we all have the choice to do that as grown-ups, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, signing off today, and we'll catch you next Thursday.
Yes, we'll see you soon again.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.